Yet people take the 15-second clip. They don't compare it to what was stated right before that. They take it out of context and judge him as being a horrible human being. And to me, that's not fair. Now remember, I'm being completely impartial. I'm not saying what he does is good, nor am I saying what he does is bad. Coach Greg, and in today's video, Andrew Tate's back at it again. He was recently interviewed by BBN, of which the interview could see she clearly hated this guy's guts. They had an ulterior motive. They didn't want to paint both sides of the story. They just wanted to try and incriminate him. And he sat there patiently answering all of their questions. And when they didn't get the answer they liked, they wanted to keep pressing him on the same exact questions. And in the end, they edited out the majority of the interview. But once people saw the actual interview, they saw exactly what they were trying to do. Imagine being on house arrest, incarcerated for charges of which they haven't even laid. Well, we're trying to find something on you, but we haven't found anything. And so imagine being a famous person and asking 1,000 people in this person's lifetime, did they ever do anything wrong? And if they can't find anything, then could that person actually be guilty?
Oh, but I read on subreddit, on the internet, that someone posted this.
Could be a 16-year-old who's posting nonsense. You can't take subreddit posts as being factual. And so what they do is they take small excerpts from longer videos, take out all context, and say, see, look how bad this person really is. And so if you're going to judge him based on certain things they've taken out of context during a 3-hour interview where people are joking around, having a good time, and judge him on a 15-second clip, then what do you think of this? I have a bunch of medical beliefs that I have zero proof for. I refuse to read research because it's matrix garbage. Nicotine and caffeine are miracle drugs. So apparently nicotine, smoking, and caffeine, miracle drugs. They're amazing. How amazing? Well, let's see. The reason my test levels is enormous, despite never taking any steroids ever, is 25 cups of coffee and 20 cigars a day. How many of you, raise your hand right now, please do, believe that he drinks 25 cups of coffee a day? Average cup of coffee has 100 milligrams in it, and so 25 cups would be 2,500 milligrams. FDA says about 400 is a safe dose. 2,500 milligrams of caffeine a day. How many of you think he does that? I don't see any hands. And how many of you believe that that would in fact raise your testosterone? Versus how many of you think that would lower your testosterone? Imagine drinking that much caffeine, making it that much more difficult to sleep and to get a good night's of sleep, and increasing cortisol. Do you really think that would boost your testosterone levels, make it easier to build muscle? And what about those 20 cigars a day? Does anyone think that he smokes 20 cigars a day, that he's an elite level athlete, a kickboxing champion, from drinking 25 cups of coffee and 20 cigars a day? Yet people are so quick to say that anything he's ever stated in any video at any time in his life, that it's pure factual, that he wouldn't ever tell a joke. How many of you in this world tell jokes? You're chatting with your friends, chit-chatting, and you say something off the cuff, and perhaps you didn't mean it. It was something funny just to get going. One of your friends said something, you said something back and forth. You didn't really mean it. You're just having a good time. You're joking around. Now remember, I'm being completely impartial. I'm just looking at it from an external point of view. And so to me, this is clearly a joke. If anyone out there, perhaps are 20 years old, young men who look up to him, remember, he's the most Googled female on earth. He does identify as being female. He's recently come out and states, I'm a lesbian woman, so I only use my female penis on other women. And then states he's the most Googled woman in the world. And so clearly, at least to me, this is satirical. This is a joke. He doesn't mean it. But people, they see this in writing and they take things out of context. They think, oh, Andrew Tate now identifies as a woman. He's saying it to be funny. He's saying it to imply to the world, what is going on right now? You can just say you're a woman? And who are we to disagree? Can you in fact tell Andrew Tate he's not a woman? What is it to be a woman? What are the qualifications? Well, in 2023, all you have to do is state so. 10 years ago, or when I was growing up, there was tons of things. Perhaps an XX chromosome, Perhaps the fact that you could become pregnant, or perhaps you menstruate, perhaps that you had lower levels of testosterone. There were many factors of what it meant to be a woman. But today, if you say you're a woman, I don't care if you grow a full beard and can bench press 560 pounds and you set the world record. If you say you're a woman, who are we to argue with that? Now listen, I know there's a difference between sex and gender. But when Andrew Tate states these things, he's oftentimes joking. He's trying to be funny. And so if you don't think that he was joking when he states to raise his testosterone levels, he drinks 25 cups of coffee a day and has 20 cigars, then what is wrong with you? You really believe everything you read. When I was a kid, a picture was worth 1,000 words. If you could actually show someone a picture of something, basically that was proof. In today's day and age, even a video ain't proof of jack shit. Remember that song? It wasn't me. It wasn't me. She even caught me on camera. Well, in today's day and age, it might not be. They can quite literally superimpose everything. Shrink down your waist, increase your height. And so when you read these things on Twitter, him saying, yeah, I'm a woman today, or I'm drinking 25 cups of coffee a day, smoking 20 cigars a day, and that's why my testosterone levels are fairly high. Do you really believe it? And so when he's on podcasts, interviews, talk shows, and he's saying all these things, do you really think he means everything he says? I mean, if you're a comedian, let's pick Adam Sandler. Very funny guy. Do you think that everything he says when he's joking is something that he means? Or if you're Chris Rock doing stand-up comedy, everything you say, you think he means it? If he makes a joke about somebody, a certain culture or anything, do you really think he means it? And so if he's talking about Will Smith's wife, do you really think he means it wholeheartedly and deserves to get slapped in the face? Or is he telling a joke? What happened to a time when you could just poke fun at things? You could just say what you thought, you didn't mean it, it's all in good fun, and people moved on with their lives. Now, everyone has to be canceled for every opinion that they have. We're living in a clowned, bizarro world that makes no sense. And regardless if you hate or love Andrew Tate, the guy is playing a character, like the Liver King. Does anyone actually think that the Liver King's natural? That he does everything he says in his videos, that he never washes himself ever. And why does he do that? He's making millions. If you actually think that's how he lived his entire life, then, well, you're an idiot. And so if you think that the Liver King acts exactly the way he does when he's on camera as when he's off, then you think that all comedians, that they all believe everything they're saying. And so when a comedian says, hey guys, I'm about to tell a joke and I just want you to know, I personally don't believe this at all. It's a complete joke. Take no offense. And then goes on to say the joke and the crowd dies laughing. And then they take a small clip of that where he says the joke and then people actually believe that the person thinks that and then they try to cancel them. Does that seem fair? I mean, anyone that goes to a comedy festival, you have to assume and expect they're going to make fun of certain people. That is the point. But it doesn't mean that they actually hate these people or that they're trying to encourage you to feel the same. And so when Andrew Tate says certain things, oftentimes it's a joke, he's kidding. He's trying to be famous. He's trying to say controversial statements. And so when he said 25 cups of coffee and 20 cigars a day, that's how you boost your testosterone. That's him joking. And when he says he identifies as a female, he's just trying to prove a point of how silly it is that anyone on any given day can just say, hey, I'm a female, and go out and set world records in the bench press, because this, to me, it's ludicrous. So let me know in the comment section, do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you believe everything that people say? Can a comedian not say a joke and not actually believe it truly to themselves? They're just trying to make a living. They're just trying to live their lives. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to watch one of the bloops. And of course, Cookbook 3.0, it's out now. Head over to the website. The supplements, you can use code Greg, 10% off. The Circle Diet book and the HCLT clothing line, like shirts like these, for example, hoodies, pants, shorts, and so on. And for a free diet and training program, close to 50 pages, enter your first and last name and email address. It's going to be sent right to you. We have close to 300,000 2,000 subscribers, giving away over 60,000 of these free plans. And so please head over to my website right now. And until next time, I am out.
Wasn't me.